Modern Mysteries, a presentation of benpatia.com. John Titor. As of the date of this broadcast, in mid-September 2021, and according to Wikipedia, the online open-source encyclopedia, quote, John Titor is a pseudonym used on several bulletin boards during 2000 and 2001 by a poster claiming to be an American military time traveler from 2036. Titor made numerous vague and specific predictions regarding calamitous events in 2004 and beyond, including a nuclear war. Inconsistencies in his explanations, the uniform inaccuracy of his predictions, and a private investigator's findings all led to the general impression that the entire episode was an elaborate hoax. A 2009 investigation concluded that Titor was likely the creation of Larry Haber, a Florida entertainment lawyer, along with his brother Maury, a computer scientist. The first posts using John Titor's military symbol appeared on the Time Travel Institute forums on November 2nd, 2000, under the name Time Travel_0. At that time, the name John Titor was not being used. The posts discussed time travel in general, the first one being the 6 parts description of what a time machine would need to have to work, and responses to questions about how such a machine would work. Early messages tended to be short. A second thread was also made due to shortcomings in the forum software at the time. The name John Titor was not introduced until January 2001, when Time Travel_0 began posting at the Art Bell BBS forums, which required a name or pseudonym for every account. The Titor posts ended in late March 2001. In his online postings, Titor claimed to be an American soldier from 2036, based in Tampa, Florida. He was assigned to a governmental time travel project and sent back to 1975 to retrieve an IBM 5100 computer, which he said was needed to debug various legacy computer programs in 2036, a possible reference to the Unix year 2038 problem. The IBM 5100 runs the APL and BASIC programming languages. Titor said he had been selected for this mission specifically, given that his paternal grandfather was directly involved with the assembly and programming of the 5100. In support of this, he described unpublicized features of the 5100, leading to assumptions that a computer scientist was behind the postings. Titor claimed to be on a stopover in the year 2000 for personal reasons, to collect pictures lost in the future Civil War, and to visit his family, of whom he spoke often. Titor described his time machine on several occasions. In an early post, he described it as a stationary mass temporal displacement unit powered by 2 top-spin dual positive singularities, producing a standard offset Tipler sinusoid. The earliest posts was more explicit, saying it contained the following: 1. 2 magnetic housing units for the dual microsingularities. 2. An electron injection manifold to alter mass and gravity of the microsingularities. 3. A cooling and X-ray venting system. 4. Gravity sensors, or a variable gravity lock. 5. 4 main cesium clocks. And 6. 3 main computer units. According to the posts, the device was installed in the rear of a 1966 Chevrolet Corvette convertible and later mentioned a 1987 truck having four-wheel drive. Although invoking the many worlds interpretation of quantum mechanics, whereby events from his timeline may differ from our own, Titor also expressed assurance that the differences were minimal. As such, his descriptions have been interpreted as predictions and compared with historical events since 2001. The most immediate of Titor's predictions were of an upcoming civil war in the United States having to do with order and rights. He described it as beginning in 2005 with civil unrest surrounding the presidential election of that year. The civil conflict that he characterized as having a Waco-type event every month that steadily gets worse would be pretty much at everyone's doorstep and erupt by 2008. As a result of the war, the United States would split into 5 regions based on various factors and differing military objectives. This civil war, according to Titor, would end in 2015 with a brief but intense World War III. Titor refers to this exchange as N-Day. Washington, D.C. and Jacksonville, Florida are specifically mentioned as being hit. After the war, Omaha, Nebraska would be the new U.S. capital. Titor was vague as to the exact motivations and causes for World War III. At one point, he characterized the hostilities as being led by border clashes and overpopulation. He also pointed to the contemporary conflict between Arabs and Israel as not a cause, but rather a milestone that precedes a hypothetical World War III. Titor claimed that as a 13-year-old in 2011, he joined the Fighting Diamondbacks, a shotgun infantry unit in Florida, for at least 4 years. In other posts, he described himself as hiding from the war. Titor claimed that the Everett-Wheeler model of quantum physics, better known as the many worlds interpretation, was correct. According to Titor, this caused a new time stream to form because of his time travel. This gives his predictions the ability to stand up to scrutiny when they fail to pass, since believers can say that the events were averted by Titor's postings. Cicada 3301. As of the date of this broadcast, in mid-September 2021, and according to Wikipedia, the online open-source encyclopedia, quote, Cicada 3301 is a nickname given to an alleged enigmatic organization that posted 3 sets of puzzles online between 2012 and 2014 to recruit code breakers from the public. The first internet puzzle started on January 4th, 2012, on 4chan, an anonymous English-language image board website, and ran for nearly a month. The second round began 1 year later, on January 4th, 2013, and then a third round following the confirmation of a fresh clue posted on January 4th, 2014, to Titor, an American microblogging and social networking service founded in March 2006. The third puzzle, a book of runes called Liber Primus, has yet to be solved. The stated intent was to recruit intelligent individuals by presenting a series of puzzles which were to be solved. No new puzzles were published on January 4th, 2015. However, a new clue was posted on Twitter on January 5th, 2016. Cicada 3301 posted their last verified PGP signed message in April 2017, denying the validity of any unsigned puzzle. The puzzles focused heavily on data security, cryptography, steganography, and internet anonymity. The Cicada 3301 clues spanned many different forms of communication media, including the internet, telephone, original music, bootable Linux CDs, digital images, physical paper signs, and pages of unpublished cryptic books written in runes. One book, titled Liber Primus, literally first book, contains many pages, only some of which have been decrypted. More information on which pages were solved and how can be found on the official Cicada 3301 wiki. In addition to using many varying techniques to encrypt, encode, or hide data, these clues also referenced a wide variety of books, poetry, artwork, and music. Each clue was signed by the same OpenPGP private key to confirm authenticity. According to statements of several people who won the 2012 puzzle, 3301 typically uses non-puzzle-based recruiting methods, but created the Cicada puzzles because they were looking for potential members with cryptography and computer security skills. The first puzzle of 2012 was solved by Marcus Warner. According to him, those who solved the puzzles were asked questions about their support of information freedom, online privacy, and freedom and rejection of censorship. Those who answered satisfactorily at this stage were invited to a private forum where they were instructed to devise and complete a project intended to further the ideals of the group. He did not finish his work on a method of general decryption, and the website was removed.